Hello Nigerians, welcome to another edition of Politics is Life. My name is Yetunde Makinde. Today's production or today's content is titled Man a Political Animal. Every time that I hear someone declare disinterest in politics or flippantly say, I am not interested in politics, what strikes my mind instantaneously is that this individual is ignorant of human nature, ignorant of his or her nature. Man is a mammal, and all mammals are social animals. Social animals are hardwired to be political, that is, are inherently political. It is therefore factually correct to state that man is a political animal and that politics is a way of life for humans. The simplest definition of politics that I know or that I'm aware of is self-interest. Self-interest here means desire. Politicking can then be said to be vain for one's self-interest. That means doing what you can within your power, within your reach, within your control to achieve your self-interest, to achieve your desire, to achieve your goals, whatever they may be, provided you're not hurting other people in the process. So this goes to show that we're all constantly, consciously and unconsciously on a daily basis politicking at home, at school, at work, and in the communities where we reside. For example, what my team and I on LTM do is basically politicking, because the purpose of having this channel set up is to have us be our self-interest, promote our self-interest, and that is to actually promote my book. Our self-interest is promoting my book, creating awareness for it, and our ultimate goal, actually, that's our ultimate self-interest, is to have my book in the hands of all Nigerians who can read, write, and have comprehension ability. And this certainly can't be a bad thing, as long as we're not hurting other people while we're at it. Similarly, what we do in the communities where we reside, like when we set up resident associations, we register them, we formulate policies, we write rules and regulations, is politicking. We do all of these things so that we can improve and better the communities where we reside. So it's a bit disheartening and disconcerting that while we all participate actively in micro level politicking, which is politicking at household level or at business level. At household level, what we do in the communities where we reside. At business level, what we do at LTM here, I've used that as an example. These are micro level politicking. So it's a bit worrisome that we all en masse, disregard and have an apathetic attitude to macro level politicking, which is country politics, politics at national level, starting from the local government to state level and then the federal level. We all en masse ignore this while we actively participate in micro level politicking. And the danger in this is that macro level politicking, that's public sector governance, the policies that are enacted at local government, state level, and federal level, the policies that are enacted from public sector affect all areas of our lives. It influences everything that we do at the micro level. So we more or less are shooting ourselves in the legs when we ignore it, because politicking at the national level influences everything, like the standard of living. I mean, the quality of life we can live. That's our standard of living. It affects the quality of healthcare system we can have in the communities where we live. It even affects the quality of education we can give our child or our ward. And yet, en masse, we all just ignore it. You see why I say that it's detrimental that we ignore politics. You know, it's like shooting ourselves in the leg when we ignore national politics. Having said all of this, I know how this came to be, you know, how this apathy towards national politics started. It's not due to any fault of ours, because we were not raised with that macro level political consciousness. And when I say we, I mean my generation. And this was essentially because our parents became disillusioned with national politics right after a military incursion into public sector governance. I mean, the consistent oppression and the terror that was unleashed on civil society by the military basically just caused our parents to become, you know, they developed this aversion to public sector governance and politics generally. And one thing though, when they would, what this cost was for them, because they needed to protect themselves, you know. So what they did was withdrew and retreat from participating in politics, and basically just channeled the energy into, you know, raising their children the best way they could. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for this attitude that it took. I know that a lot of people tend to blame the older generations, but the reality is they did the best they could under the prevalent circumstances. It's unfair to just, they needed to shield themselves and protect themselves from the terror of that time. So, having said this, what I would like to now point out is this, that we can pick up from where our parents left it. You know, they ignored politics. They didn't imbibe in us. They didn't instill the culture of public sector politicking in us. Yeah, all of that is in the past. What we can now do, now that we, their children, have come of age, what we can do is to pick up from where they left it. So what I would like to see happen is for us to put heads together. You know, we can't continue to play politics like our parents did, you know, staying away from it and expect change. That's irrational. If we want change, we have to begin now to do all that we can to bring about that change. And it is even more so possible now, because now we're in the 21st century, and everything that we need to make this happen are readily available. The tools are readily available. We have the intelligence and we have the capacity to actually, you know, to galvanize and organize ourselves and prepare ahead of 2023. What we, whipping up sentiment and complaining and ranting is not, is not the smart thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do for us now is to begin to organize. And one thing I need to mention, I know that there are a lot of civic engagement groups flung around the country who all are working independently in silos, you know, doing their own thing, which is a fantastically good thing. However, the missing ingredient here now is that, see, we have a short window. It's just roughly 16 months from now to the next general election. And there's so much one person or people working independently can achieve. To be able to move Nigeria's political needle in the direction that we want it, enough of us have to come together. This means we have to be collaborating. there has to be a meeting of like minds. We have to pool our resources together. We have to pull our resources together because we all have the same goal, which is a better Nigeria. And I know that there are a lot of better Nigeria groups, make Nigeria better groups out there. All of these groups, you all need to be pulling out of your silos. We all need to merge, create a 1 million man force. I mean, one man working independently or several people working independently can only achieve so much. But picture a situation where a 1 million man people are working toward the same goal, which is to better Nigeria. The synergy 1 million people will create is not the same thing that 100,000 or 1,000 or 10 people or one person working independently can achieve. If all the civic engagement groups can pool resources together, let's shed this narrow mentality of Nami Skoram, Nami Wonjua. That can take us far. We all need to shed our egos. Let's work together and then we all can share the credit for those who are interested in taking credit. But to move the political and the economic needle of Nigeria in the direction that we want, we need to be collaborating to create the right kind of synergy that can propel our desire and shift things in a favorable direction, in the direction that we all want. So essentially what I'm saying is civic engagement groups, we all need to be collaborating. Pull out of your silos, come out of your small corners and create a 1 million man force ahead of the general elections in 2023. That's the win-win. That's the win-win formula. Working alone is a path to failure. A lone star. Nigeria is rotten beyond what one man can solve. We all need to be working together. This is my essential message for today. That as many of us as are interested in changing the trajectory of this country, we all must pool our resources together. So if you're interested, if you do your bit, like I said, I know there are groups who already are doing fantastically good in their corner. But if you're interested in building a larger platform, along with others, please reach out. Let's do this. Let's kickstart this movement ahead of 2023. So until I come your way next time, it's a girl Yetunde Oloko saying, Ireo. Before I go, if anything I've said in the last 10-12 minutes interest you, if you've extracted any value from what I've said in the last 10 minutes and you did like to support what I do here, I would encourage you to grab a copy of my book. The links to where you can find both the print and the e-copy are in the description box below. Until next time, Ireo.